Hello and welcome to part 3. Hopefully we can get this wrapped up in a shorter video than the other two. And at the end of the last video, I kind of got rushed to an end. I forgot to do something I wanted to show you that I said I would. I want to show you why this form of note-taking is so preferred by math professors at the college level. What you can do is if you take a piece of paper and cover your paper like this and you're studying for a test, you've created a great study sheet. Okay, you cover that part up right there, and then you actually try to work the question out as you're studying, and then you compare what you did as you study to what you're supposed to do, and you have now the actual work and the descriptions if you forgot how to do something. So these make great study guides, and I will, like I said, occasionally through the year be using this form of note-taking strategy for you. I think without question, I've seen several different forms of note-taking. As far as math goes, this is the best one I think I've ever seen. So that's why we do it. All right, let's then look at this part right here. B plus 3 all divided by 5 is equal to -1. I believe you are on the last page of the notes that you got in class. And you can find examples of this. I think it's printed on your notes, but on page 90 in the book you can see more examples like this if you need that to refer to. But let's take a look at how this question that looks a little different from the other two is really pretty simple to do. B plus 3 over 5. Okay, so what do we always do? We always recopy the question. B plus 3 over 5 is equal to -1. Now let's remember what the goal is when we solve. The goal is always to find one x on one side. Isolate that x, get him all by himself, or in this case it's b, doesn't matter what the letter is. That's our goal here. Now here's an interesting thing happening. You have all of b plus 3 being multiplied times 5. So you know what I can do? On the very first line, I'm okay if you do this. If you multiply this times 5, times that denominator, right there, 5, or you can think of it as 5 over 1, remember, do unto one side as you do to the other. If you multiply both sides by that number right there, look what happens. You multiply these two, this 5 and this 5 actually cancel out. Guess what you have now? What's remaining on the left side? B plus 3 is equal to, now you got to simplify the right side as well. -1 times 5 is -5. All right, so what did we do? Let's write over on the right-hand side what you did. You multiply both sides by the denominator to get rid of the fraction. All of a sudden, our life got really easy. We went from this funky looking question, b plus 3 over 5, to look, it's actually a one-step equation here, because all you have to do now is add the opposite. Remember, the game is to isolate b in this case. All right, so I'm going to add -3 or subtract 3. I'm left with b here. Now be real careful right here. This is -5 minus 3, which is the same thing as -5 plus -3. b is -8. b is -8, and you have the solution. Okay, right there. We could check this question. I'm a little bit out of room. I'll squeeze it in right here. If you check this question here, you would have -8 plus 3. If you can fit this underneath, it's better. I just ran out of space because I didn't give myself as much space as I gave you in your notes. Put the -8 plus 3 in there over 5. Work that out and see if you get -1. -8 plus 3 is -5, right? Divided by 5. -5 divided by 5 is -1. Your check. It worked. Again, you're happy. All right, and then before we go on to the last question, if you would put a dividing line there, your notes hopefully will look a little better than mine. And I don't know if I can move this down. It's going to be, oh, maybe I can. I'll do a little smartboard magic here. Let's see if this works. Yeah, look at that. All right, give myself a little bit of space, and I can extend my page. And let's roll through this one. We're going to do the exact same thing here, and we're going to be done. All right, we've got g minus 3 divided by 3. So what do we always do with this type of note? Quickly write it down. It's worth your time because you're creating an awesome study guide for you. As this class gets progressively more difficult, you're going to be glad you have that. Identify the denominator, right? And multiply both sides by it. Times 3 times 3. So over here on my notes, I'm just going to say multiply times 3, both sides, because 3 is the denominator. All right, look what happens here. 3, 3 cancel. You have g minus 3 equals, what happens over here? See those 3's cancel? Hope you remember how to multiply your fractions. Those cancel out and become 1's. 5 times 1 is 5. Look what you're left with here. G minus 3 equals 5. Simple at this point. Add 3 to both sides. Let's see what we come up with. G equals 8. Let's check it. We're going to take the 8. We're going to plug it in for G and see if we end up with 5/3. Give myself a little bit more room here. Oop, too much. All right. The original question was G minus 3, so G is 8 minus 3 over 3. All right, 8 minus 3. What's 8 minus 3? It's 5. What's the denominator? 3. And that's what it said right there. So my check works and life is good. All right, there we go. It took me a little over 6 minutes for this last video, but that should get you covered for class. Bring those notes back to class, and we will get moving on it next time I see you.